My name's Caleb. I'm the head of sales and support here at Lumin. So I'm heavily involved in the customer side. So talking to customers, finding out, what's awesome about Lumin, what do people love, where can we improve? And a big part of our role is really working with our product team as well and making improvements and bringing out new features. So we've had a lot of cool new features come through. We've also had some amazing improvements over the last kind of 6 months to a year. And I'm going to be taking you through some of, I guess, the really popular features we have and some of those key use cases as well that make life really easy and help people get stuff done. So to start off, we'll be talking about Google Drive Auto Sync. I'll also show you the different ways in which you can kind of upload and store documents. We'll also talk about annotating and collaborating and how that's super easy with Lumin, with the comment feature, with having been on the same document in real time with your colleagues as well. It's really awesome. We'll talk about the Fillable Forms feature too. That's probably our most recent release. It's a really exciting development there and more to come for that feature too. And we'll finish up with our tools. So, the merging and everything else like that. There'll be time for a bit of a Q&A as well at the end. So if anybody has any questions at all, please jump into the Q&A tab and just drop the questions there. Happy to answer anything at all. We also have a special offer as well for anybody who's attending the webinar today. So just for you guys, a special one-time offer, and I'll announce that at the end of the webinar. Cool, so let's get cracking into it. We'll start with Google Drive. So, a lot of people who love Lumin have discovered it through Drive or through kind of Google Workspace as well. So this is one of the most common things because, right, you don't want to necessarily be storing your documents everywhere and moving to the cloud. People want it to be really easy and accessible from your browser. So one of the easiest ways to basically use Lumin is to use it from Drive or from Gmail. So what you do is if you've got a PDF document, you can actually use a whole bunch of different formatted documents too. So it can be JPEGs as well and Word docs too. So it doesn't actually just have to be PDFs. And you can, when it's in your Drive here, you can just open it right up. If you've installed Lumin on your browser, you can just double click it and open it right up. Otherwise, if you just open with Lumin, will often be one of the suggested apps. So you can click there too. In this case, I'm just going to double click it and open straight up into Lumin. Now, one thing that's really good to note here is that the document isn't actually stored in Lumin at all. So right now, we're just using Lumin to basically just view the document, edit it, annotate, do whatever we want with the document, but the document itself is still stored back in your Drive. Now, this little icon up here is the auto sync. So this was a really big development for us over the last year. A lot of work went into it. Previously, you'd have to kind of click a save button, but now having auto sync there, you can toggle it on and it just means it's always going to be updated. So this is a real massive time saver, means that you don't have to constantly be worrying about whether your document's getting updated or not. And it's really awesome. Let's test it out, And so I'll just fill in some information here. And let's see if it does work. So up here, we should, once I click that off, we should get an update syncing. There we go. So let's exit out of this one and let's see if it actually worked, right? So best way to do that is to jump into a quick preview. There we go. Awesome. It's updated, right? So that's really, really simple. Also, we can jump back into the document from here. Super, super easy. And we can check out another couple of things. So one of the cool things as well is if you want to, you can also make copies of your documents. So that's another way to get a document back into Google Drive. If you've been kind of, upload it from your desktop and you've been doing something on it and you're like, oh, actually, I really want this in Drive. So you can just do this and make a copy in Google Drive. So other ways to store the documents are also just on Lumin itself. So if we were to jump back into Lumin by clicking this button here, we can actually see kind of Lumin's interface, right? And everything there. We've got cool, awesome folder feature here as well. So you can organize, add some cool colors. Depending on the storage, you'll be able to see the icon here as well. So let's say we upload something from our computer, get that file in there. We'll be able to see the different storage location of each document too. So it's really, really straightforward. In terms of the syncing with Google, it's so seamless. It's probably one of our most popular features, really, because it just is such a big time saver. But you also have extra benefits as well. Now, I want to show you a quick workflow, and this one here is really going to kind of take you through our annotation and collaboration features. So a real common use case is basically, say one of your colleagues is working on a document and they need a bit of feedback, or they need to get you into that document to fill in some stuff. You know, maybe you're hiring somebody, right? And you really want them to fill in some information or sign a contract. So a really good way to do that is if you've already prepared the document and sent it out to somebody, you can just tag them in comments on that document and it'll send them a notification. So that's happened to me, and let's have a look. Looks like Laurie's prepared something. She's got a document going, and now she wants me to get in there and view it. So see, it's really easy because she tagged me in comments. It's showing up in my email. It's going to get my attention. I don't need to be always looking at Lumin as well to do that. So let's jump in there now and let's see what I've got to do. Awesome. Okay, looks like Laurie's actually in the document right now as well. So hopefully if I do what I've been asked to do, she can give me immediate feedback on that too. And I'll be able to see that in real time. So it looks like I need to review this section and maybe fill in a few things. So this is a great chance to show off the free text tool as well. This is not a fillable document, so that's really easy too. If it doesn't have fillable fields, that's okay. You can always use the free text option as well. So let's just throw my name in here. Perfect. And in case any of you guys are wondering what the strange accent is, I'm based down here in Christchurch, New Zealand. So let's put that location into. Perfect. Looks like we need a date too. Let's just say it's effective from today. This is an awesome chance to use our date stamp tool. So this is a new development as well, and it just makes it super easy to throw in today's date. You don't need to type it out. Perfect for when you're signing documents and things like that too. Awesome. Well, I feel like I've done a pretty good job there. Let's send Laurie a comment and just see if, I've filled in enough and if she needs any more help. See, simple as that. Just put in Laurie's name. She's going to show up and I can tag her as well. And the really great thing too is once Laurie is done with this, she can also just resolve that comment and get it out of the way too. So one of the things I think, especially on PDF documents, is sometimes, with, other tools, the comments can get in the way, or they're not quite, you don't really notice they're there as well. So you really want them to be super clear and obvious when you've commented on something. So when you bring someone into your document, oh, there we go. Look, we've already got a reply. How good. Obviously she's watching this document too, so straight onto it. But it's really great to do that. But then when you're done with the comment, you also want to get rid of it. So let's say, look, looks pretty good. Let's resolve this one. That disappears. Now it's not completely gone. So we also have the comment history as well. So we can look at the comment history and see the ones that have been resolved and still jump into them as well. So that's always a good way if you've, resolved something, but you're like, actually, hold on a minute. Was that really resolved? Also, I think there's one more thing that Laurie is needing me to do on this document. So let's have a wee look. Oh, perfect. Okay, I need to sign. Let's get the signature going. So the signature tool is, just exit those two, is really handy. And there's a really cool new feature we have, which is placing the signature multiple times. We had our customers asking us for this. First of all, when you're wanting to place your main signature, you really only want to place it once and then that's it. But when you're placing initials, like that's such a time-consuming thing if you're always having to jump back up to the signature tool to go back and drop a signature. So let's create a signature first, because that's always fun as well. And you guys can see how bad I am at drawing, which is also cool. We also have a couple of other options too, if you prefer. Upload an image of your signature. So a lot of people have those, so feel free to use that. You can also just type it out as well. That's, a great way to avoid embarrassing yourself if you're not so good at writing on a computer. You can make it look really fancy. How good does that look? I could never draw that nicely. Anyway, let's give drawing a go though, because that's a bit more fun. So oh, there we go. Caleb. Yeah, terrible as I expected. Let's give it a little strike through, maybe. Makes it look a bit more like a signature. I'm not going to place it multiple times for this one. So we're just going to save that, and then I'm going to place my signature. Perfect. Okay, easy as that. And now looks like there's also some space for initials. So I might go through and just place some initials as well. So I'll create a new signature. This time I'll just put my initials there. Perfect. And I can put place signature multiple times. Easy as. All right, let's bump it there. So that's all done. I'm going to resolve these comments here. I've done everything I need in this document. Now I can jump out and go and do the next thing. So the next thing I wanted to show you all was our new Fillable Forms feature. So we're going to jump into a new document, but before I do that, I'll show you a little bit more about kind of this interface here. So you've got a few different spots here. So we've got you in My Documents. That's just personal stuff. So anything you put in here, unless you've actively shared it with someone, and it's really easy to share that with someone as well. Unless you've shared it, no one else is going to see it. So that's just all you. Now, but with our business plans and enterprise plans, you actually get a really cool thing called a circle. So in here, any of these documents, everybody in your circle can see these. So that's a great way for things like, you know, maybe templates or things that you want everybody to look at. Maybe it's just a you know, helpful resource, or it's a document that everybody in your circle is working on. We also, if you want to break those circles down a bit, you can also create teams, and that's the exact same structure where you've got folders and documents, and it's just for a specific team within your organization or circle. So it's really straightforward, and it's a great way to collaborate, right? Because you don't have to worry about sharing or anything else like that. Now let's jump on into this document. Awesome. Okay, so for this one here, I really want to prepare it now and actually send it off to and share it with my colleagues so that we can, you know, get it completed. So at the moment in our form builder, we have text fields, we have checkboxes, and we have radio buttons. We've got a few more fields coming through soon, so we're going to have some more updates on this. This is a pretty new feature, as I said, but we've got some really exciting stuff coming in. One of the great things about this is, you know, often you can have documents, someone's already formatted it a little bit, but they hasn't put in fillable fields on every field, right? So there's a bit missing. So that's where you can use Lumin just to finish that. So for instance, we can just throw in a new field there, you know, extend it right out. Easy as that. We can change the name of it if we want to as well. Click apply, and there we have a fillable field. Easy and ready to go. I think let's throw one down here as well. So let's jump back into that and put in a field down here for the name. Awesome. So that's really, really easy. Now I want to leave a few comments on this one so that I can get my colleague to come in and help me fill this out, right? So let's use the comment tool again. I'm going to just put one right up here and say, hey, Laurie, can we please fill this document? Awesome. And then I'll request a signature down here as well. Now there's two ways to comment on a document. So you can either add a little kind of comment pointer there, or you can also comment by highlighting. So you can highlight a bit of text and then ask people to do things, which is really awesome. That's one of the best ways really for getting feedback, say, especially if it's like a long bit of text and you're wanting to get some feedback on that particular clause in a contract, or maybe you're just wanting some feedback on a bit of writing you've been doing. So that's a really cool way to do it. Awesome. And obviously we've, you know, added the name in here as well. So hopefully Laurie can come in now and she can complete the entire document. We've got the fillable fields all over the document now as well. So it's all ready to go. Now, just quickly, why don't we have a quick look at some other cool annotation tools as well. So one of my favorites is the highlighting tool. So you can actually change the color of your highlighter too. You can change the opacity as well. So it doesn't need to be so strong. So let's change the opacity here and then highlight some of this. So it's really, really straightforward and easy to do. We also have kind of underline and various other ones, strike throughs as well. So that's really great for if you're providing any sort of feedback or annotation on a document that's kind of word heavy. Obviously, I've shown you the free text one. We also have the freehand tool. Now, this is a really fun one. It's a great one for doodling as well. If you know you like to doodle and think at the same time, we've had a lot of customers who've really, you know, run with that one, and it's a lot of fun. I've tried my hand at it a little bit, but I'm not much of a drawer, and so drawing in real life and then also digitally, it hasn't crossed over for me, but it's still fun. One of the cool things I think about the freehand tool is you can actually also use it as kind of a highlighter too. So what you can do is just make it a larger size, and then you can just use it as a highlighter. So that's a real organic kind of highlighting tool. It feels a lot like it would when you're using it by hand, right? And so if you're using a tablet for anything, if you're using your phone as well, that's a really cool way to do it, because you can go through the entire document really naturally, highlight things you want to come back to, and it feels very organic and less like you're kind of, on your computer. So I quite like that one as well. We can also insert kind of shapes too. So there's some handy shapes here. It's always good to throw in a tick every once in a while. And now if you really are sick of, all the annotations you've been creating, we also have the eraser, so you can quickly get rid of stuff and so that you stop clogging up the document. Cool. Now, the next thing I want to take you all through and to finish up, I guess, the main demo part of today is our tools. So we've got a whole bunch of page tools, which are really, really handy. I'm going to jump into a new document now, and so we'll go back to Lumin. We'll jump back into this one over here. Cool. So from here, I want to go into page tools. Then I want to merge this document with something else. So, obviously there's those times when you're wanting to send a document through to somebody, but maybe you don't want to be sending multiple, right? But you've got a lot to get through. So one really handy way to do that is actually to merge multiple documents so that you can actually just send through one document and get them to complete those actions on that document. So a great way to do that is to use our merge documents tool. So you can upload from your computer or from Google Drive. Today, let's do from the computer. So I've just got this document on my desktop. We'll bring it in. Now I can decide where I want to insert that as well. Let's do it after page one. Easy as, merge that in. Awesome. So now that's one document. So we've got everything together. Now I think I'm going to want them to do the non-disclosure before I get them to kind of complete the information, the employment information. So let's just maneuver that a little bit and bring that down to the end. Perfect. So other things you can do here as well is you can rotate pages. So that's really handy, especially if you've got some pages on your document. It might be a slideshow as well, right? So you've got some, especially if you're sending through a much larger document, you want to be able to do things like that. So move them around and also rotate them. You can also delete them too. So let's say, well, actually, I don't want this last page here in this case. We're just going to delete that page. Easy as. Perfect. So now that one's done, we can move on and have a look at it and see if there's anything else we want to do in the document. That's really, really easy. And so maybe now I can add some fillable fields in and send it through. We'll jump back to page tools and I'll show you a couple of other things as well. So you can also split and extract pages as well. So that's a real great way. You might have like a huge document and you only want a certain part of it, right? Maybe it's a proposal you've sent through and you're wanting to just get, a couple of the template sections from the last proposal you sent, but you've obviously got some templates for the other bits as well. So that's a really great way to just go into that, grab those pages that you want, bring them out of there, and then you can merge it into another document that you've been preparing as well. So we also have ability to kind of rotate all pages at the same time through this tool, which is really straightforward and easy. You can also do bulk delete as well. So just by using this tool here, you can just add in the pages you want to delete. That's great for larger documents, right? Where, maybe you don't want to go through and like delete every single page one by one. We can also insert a blank page, which is really handy. That one's great, especially if you're wanting just to add a page to add some notes, right? Or maybe that's your page you want to do some doodles as well. So we can add let's do it now. We'll just add a page after page 4. There it goes. So we can jump into that and add whatever we like to that page. You can also crop pages too. So I've kind of taken you through all the nuts and bolts of Lumin and some of my favorite things to do with it. Let's do one last thing. Now, in this case, I haven't actually shared this document with who I want to come on and have a look at it. So we've also got our share feature as well. Now, this works really, really smoothly. You're able to update permissions as well. As you can see, because it's a circle document, there's already everybody in my circle within this document, so those people can see it. But maybe I want to add somebody else as well. So let's add somebody else. I'm going to add in their email right now. Perfect. Throw it in. Easy as. Maybe I want to add another person as well from my team, There we go. And I can decide what Claudia can do on the document. Let's say she can share. Happy for her to do that. Awesome. That sends through a message as well as a notification into her email. It's as simple as that. And yeah, so we can look at the list here of who's actually been invited. Once she's actually opened the document, she'll show up on this list as well. You can copy that link, throw it into Slack, throw it into any of the messaging tools you use as well. So it's a really easy way to do it. Awesome. So that kind of brings me to the end of the demo portion of today. Now, I wanted to just see, if we have any kind of questions or if anything kind of came up during the run through. Obviously, I've also got that special offer as well, which I'll move over to in a second. But we'll just jump over to the Q&A right now and just see if we have any questions. Awesome. Okay, so looks like we've got one question here just around, are there any other storage options that you can use? So yes, there are. So at the moment we have great integrations into Google, but we also have Dropbox as well. And we're also always looking for more options to integrate into. So, we're putting a real big focus on integrating into tools that our customers love and use every day. One of the best things about tools like Lumin, it's collaborative, it's online, it's web-based, right? But you also want it to be really easy and talk between the different tools you use. So whether that might be a CRM or a storage device. So, those are the sorts of things that you really want super easy. So we're putting a big focus on that and always keen for feedback. So anybody who wants to, oh, awesome. Yes, you can absolutely use the draw tool. I've just had a question come through now as well. So you can absolutely, the question was, can you use a draw tool like a whiteboard with colleagues? So yeah, you absolutely can. Like the whiteboarding is actually one of those, use cases that comes up more and more. In education as well, it's really common, but also more and more with in workplaces too. So whiteboarding is like one of those things which, especially when you're working from home, or maybe not everybody can be in the office for that meeting, you can still use a tool like Lumin as a whiteboard. So I showed you that kind of draw tool. You can just create a blank page if you like as well, or you can just load up a blank page document, and then that effectively is your whiteboard, right? So you can, do whatever you like. You can use the shapes, you can create kind of flow charts, you can do everything like that as well. So it's really, really straightforward and kind of up to you how you use it. Awesome. Great stuff. Okay, cool. So let's jump on through to, if anybody's got any more questions, please fire them through. We'll get on to those as well. Otherwise, please send through any questions, post us as well. You can reach out to me directly as well. I'm caleb@luminpdf.com. So if you've got any questions, or if you want to learn a bit more about Lumin, I'm here and really keen to catch up and help you out. So the option we have today, and a bit of a deal for everybody, is focus on kind of Lumin for business, right? So Lumin, we've seen so many people around the world adopt Lumin in the workplace and, bringing in colleagues and collaborating. For us, we've focused a lot on the usability of Lumin and making it really easy to use. And we've seen massive uptake, and it's always super encouraging when we see stories come through or a bit of feedback about how easy it is to use. And so that's our mission, to make, productivity software accessible and really, really simple to use for everybody. And I think, for us, it's the way we get there is feedback from our customers, right? So if you've got any feedback at all, please fire it through. We are always keen to hear it.